If it does make you feel better, I did replay this level legitimately without skipping over nearly everything by flying, but I deleted the footage for it because, well, that would be really redundant. You already saw the whole level. But I guess it was important to show off how broken the ability to fly just by having a blue shell in your mouth is. Actually, I don't know if any other new 2D Mario game lets you do that. But again, the 2D Mario games after this are so forgettable that, well, it's not like they aren't good. Aside from the overly difficult difficulty, I did like the Switch new Mario Brothers game. I liked the Wii one once I got used to the horrible controls. Well, it's like, there's way too much momentum in the new Mario games. That's why I hate the way they control. It's better to be crouch jumping when you're around those spiked things. Because it's pretty tense going through this level. Because you don't want to get hurt by the moving spikes. So, I think that this game does have a nice soundtrack to listen to, but it's nothing that's really amazing, like you would feel like you missed out if you didn't have the volume up. The game's music during actual gameplay is usually the same song played at different pitches and tempos depending on the level. I guess they were on a tight deadline. I like how challenging it is to dodge those thwimps. And of course you have to jump ahead with a spin jump a little bit so that you can lure the thwomp to go down first. And of course I skipped this because it's literally the same thing. But yeah, the original songs for the soundtrack are for the title screen, credits, overworld map, final boss, and something the trivia page didn't mention. There's also an original song with, well, I think the Reznor boss fight is an original song as well. And the music that plays after you beat a castle, that's original. I was trying to show off and failing there that you can actually die by clipping through the corner on the ceiling of the leftmost part of the level. I'm pretty sure you would have to run towards it with momentum. Most of the unused level slots refer to a short unused level consisting of blocks spelling out test in all caps with an exclamation mark. And I clearly clipped through that there. Like, I clearly clipped through those things there. I hate how slowly they move. Like, I would like them more if they didn't move so slowly. Because you can ride on those things, you don't actually need to have all the blocks there. In Vanilla Dome 3, stick out Yoshi's tongue and drop him into the lava. When he's sinking, his tongue will be a little above his mouth. Koji Kondo is the one who composed the game's music using only an electronic keyboard. What's most interesting to me is that he was the one who also composed the music of Link's Awakening. I already talked about him there. Yeah, you can see from this, hopefully, that it probably is. I think it is possible to jump on the P switch when it's on Yoshi's tongue. You can get a power-up on it. Like, there's a lot of pretty precise frame-perfect, or mostly frame-perfect glitches using Yoshi. And the fact that he can actually eat things he's not supposed to be able to eat if you load up sprites. But, like, there's a reason I'm not doing them. It's because, like, even the videos I watched... Oh, here we go. I recycled a P switch entirely by accident. After all the times I was trying to do it on purpose. I have Yoshi eat it again while I'm falling by accident. Which has gotta be harder. I fell past the dragon coin there, so I had to go get it. I forget if it's called a Yoshi coin or a dragon coin. But I think I remember it's called a dragon coin because I remember thinking it was a stupid name because Yoshi isn't a dragon, he's a Yoshi. Like, he only grows wings when he has a blue shell in his mouth, and he only has fire breath if he has a red shell in his mouth. That's a terrible dragon. It's annoying to get that dragon coin when you're trying to when you have all the coins be blocks. This is an interesting level. All of the Spinies are trapped in the blocks that you can't do anything with unless you use a P-switch to turn them into coins. So it's like a zoo for Spinies. And it's interesting that you can eat them with Yoshi's tongue past the walls. I wonder if that was a glitch and they decided to leave it in. And look, I recycled it again! They really didn't think things through when they had it take so long to disappear. But you know, having all these glitches in the game is another extra thing that makes the game great. Like, it rewards you if you find out how to do those glitches. Because, like, well, I think recycling a P-switch is actually pretty useless. I mean, I guess you could recycle... Yeah, you could probably recycle this thing and get a whole bunch of extra lives. Like, probably throughout the whole level if you do it good enough. But who cares? I'm at 99 lives! I've been at 99 lives since before the Butterbridge world. It is very creative that there's bridge levels in this game, though. The thing that's great about this game is its creativity. But it feels like they ran the well dry with this game. I think that it's guaranteed that you're never going to be able to go to a secret area with those moving pipes. Always jump on the center of those specific yellow platforms. I learned that when I was a kid with the first level that they were introduced in. It's safer to just always aim for the center of them because you never know when they're gonna shrink. And like, if I really cared about getting as many bonus points as possible every time, then I would always jump off Yoshi and kill the charging chucks with my spin attack. But who cares? I mean, I've got so many lives at this point. And I don't mean to be annoying by complaining about how easy the game is, because really you should be appreciating that because it means the game's not frustrating. It's just that this game could stand to be harder, and it wouldn't be cheap. It's arbitrary how many lives they throw at you. Like, I like the challenge. Well, I kind of don't because you have to wait when you're crouching beneath these things. Sometimes with the orange pipes that change color, they'll become only half green instead. How are you supposed to know where exactly those spike things are going to show up from? There's no indication of where they're going to show up from until they do, which helps make them intimidating. And these things are really intimidating because of how quickly they come out, and of course that you can't see them until they come out. So, like in that previous area, in that previous horizontal area with all the different moving buzzsaws, you really do have to take it slow in order to not get crushed by those. Well, you can't get crushed by those things actually, which is really weird. They just kill you super fast if you're still in their hitbox when you have invincibility frames, which feels glitchy. I love that you can go fast here, and you don't have to wait for that thing, but you don't have to wait for this thing, unfortunately. And I got cocky there, so that's why I got hit by that. Sure makes things easier knowing that you can spin jump on these things, right? Because it's totally obvious that you can spin jump on fire. In the GBA version, a defeated grinder looks like half of a wooden plank, or a Magic Koopa's magic. I guess we're in the basement of the castle, and that's why the background is darker. I hate that there's two fireballs here. Like, it just makes it a lot more annoying to you're constantly focused on dodging them. The fireballs are the real boss of this. Because Wendy's pretty easy. I knew exactly where she would show up, but I wasn't able to hit her because I was so busy dodging the fireballs. I always thought that Mario's sprite when he was small Mario looked weird in this game, even as a kid. And his death sprite also looked really weird to me even as a kid. I always hated that his face was so red when he died. It was surreal. It looked like, why would his face be red? What does that imply about what's on his face? And it never makes sense that he gets these tools out of nowhere just for the sake of a humorous way to get rid of the castle. Like, it's like AOSTH. But it makes more sense for Mario, which never took itself seriously, ever. Well, there's a standard for it with Sonic, because there's entire continuities that take themselves seriously. Oh, there's a really difficult glitch to perform here. I thought it would be easy, because it's so easy to get Yoshi to fall to his death here. At least if you're facing left, because for some weird reason, he has to face left first. I guess because his head clips through the invincible wall there, if he's facing it. And actually, you can accidentally, I decided to kill myself on purpose so I could try the glitch again right away. And I decided to do it in the stupidest way possible. I actually laughed when that happened to me. You can dismount Yoshi with too much momentum while facing left when you get out of that pipe, and he'll clip through the invisible wall to the left that you're not allowed to go past. And then you won't be able to get him back. It feels like they didn't finish programming it. Like, he shouldn't be able to get past that invisible wall. It is interesting that there's a sunken chip that's underwater. Like, again, and a haunted sunken chip. That's one of the many ways that this game is surprisingly creative. Like, it was common sense for it to switch things up so much after the third game. This is an annoying area. Like there's tension because you feel like at any moment the ghosts are going to spawn where you are. One did right there, so it's a good thing I had some leniency time to get away from it. I feel like it would be cheap for the ghosts to spawn where you are and deal you touch damage, because how are you supposed to know where they're gonna show up next? But it's very good to take advantage of the fact that when you hold down and mash A, you don't go as high up. I don't think being Small Mario would make things easier because, you know, it would be more tense because you would have less health. Just my luck that I managed to avoid, by accident, practically every single one of these Yoshi coins. I mean, really? You know, seeing all of these Koopa sprites at once, they look really nice. Like, when I was a kid, I always loved palette swaps. I don't know, there was something that fascinated me about them. Even though they're not fascinating, because they're actually really lazy. I guess it's cheap to have all those falling giant spike balls be there. Like, it feels like it's impossible to avoid falling into one of them before you hit the orb. But it's good that the orb exists. It's a creative way of exiting the level. And it was the only way to exit the Koopaling levels in Mario 3. That level's a sunken Mario 3 airship. I showed that I could avoid that star there, and if you're pixel perfect with dismounting Yoshi or something, you can avoid getting that star even if your Yoshi and your sprite is bigger. It feels unfair to me that you can't get a 1-up by building up points by constantly spinning your cape at a shell. But it is creative that they bother to have an upside down shell sprite. And obviously, if you're holding a shell that Koopa is in, then eventually it's going to get out of the shell and hurt you, which I accidentally show off in a later level. It comes out so quickly, and if you're not paying attention to the shell, then it's easy for it to surprise you and attack you. It takes forever to get all of these dragon coins if you're doing it the smart way. Like, the camera isn't panned out at all. So you can't see them coming until, like, the split second where they start showing up. You're better off being slow and hovering with the cape. And here I'm showing you that there's nothing under here. Like, there's nothing there at all. I was giddy when I finally got that glitch to work. You have to press A and hold down so you'll sink faster than Yoshi. I know that you have to dismount Yoshi when you're halfway down when you're falling with Yoshi. I know that that's when you have to dismount him. But I don't know exactly what I did to get this right because I wasn't recording every single attempt because almost all of them ended in frustrating failure where I had to go back and get the Yoshi every single time I exited the level. Well, it is interesting and satisfying to pull the glitch off, but it's very pointless, so I guess I wouldn't recommend trying it.